Welcome back to BK Nothing But Nets podcast. It's good to be back. I'm here with my co-host Dylan, my partner in crime as always. Dylan over at Nets Press. How's it going, man? It's been a few days. How's everything going?
It's going. Can't complain. The Nets are continuing to lose. The youth is starting to look better. Um, yeah, I can't complain. This is everything that I've been hoping for this season. It's unfortunate that we have two teams that are purposely losing, trying to keep up with us in the tanking race, but hopefully they notch out a couple of wins here shortly because this is a very tight race as of right now. Three teams tied at 1-10. I think it's the first time ever that three teams have started that poorly. So
You can
they've got to
you
do
can
something
see that.
about this.
Yeah, the tank off is on, so to speak, right? Like,
Yeah,
yeah, the tank off it's tanking for sure. There's a
100%.
And this is what I mean. Like, we can lose all the games we want. It's going to be hard to guarantee yourself the worst record in the NBA. I would say it's harder to have
Not
the worst record.
necessarily, because here's the thing, right? You played Indiana and you beat them for your only win this season. You could have just purposely lost that one, right? You play Washington I think this week. Y- Just lose, right? Like just purposely lose. I
I'm not
don't
that worried
care.
about Washington. I'm more worried about Indiana
Indiana.
because,
What did I say
yeah,
too? Indiana fucking sucks. They
yeah,
are
you're right about
horrible.
that. They are horrible. They are
They are
horrible.
the
A team that
biggest
was
pieces of dog shit. They are just really bad at the
one
game of
game
basketball.
away from winning the finals, one blown Achilles in Game 7 away from winning the finals, and now they're maybe the worst team in basketball. They are
I will
brutal.
say, I do think that if some of their guys come back, because I mean they're missing nine or eight players, I think. I can double check, but yeah, I'm pretty sure they're missing a ton of guys. Like, yeah, John Furphy, Cam Jones, Benedict Mathurin, Obi Toppin. Those are all guys that are going to potentially be coming back. So, should they get a couple of more wins throughout the season? Yes. Are they going to be a 15 plus one team? I don't know.
15 wins is so little. If you look over the last 5, 6, 7 years of the NBA, how many teams have won 15 games or less? That's so little. That's
Yeah.
so little.
I mean, genuine, the race for the bottom four teams in the league could be like 9, 11, 12, and like 14 wins. That could be like the four
What?
worst teams this year. And that would be three of the worst records in NBA history.
Let me just look at. Uh, here, I wanted to point out. I think it's harder to have the worst record in the NBA than it is to have the best record in the NBA, because no one really cares about having the best record in the NBA. They really don't anymore, right? Like,
Nah.
having that one seed, it used to be like something people would chase after. Now they'll rather just sit their players. And we kind of already know OKC is going to finish the season with the best record in the NBA because they clear everybody. And then they have all those picks that you were we talking about that on air or off air? We were off air when we were talking about that, right?
Which one?
We're talking about OKC.
Oh, with their
Oh, their
picks,
picks.
yeah. This
Yeah.
is fucking ridiculous, dude. Like the NBA's got to tap reset on these people's picks. Just get rid of them. Um, no, I mean I literally just put out the tweet. I was saying if I'm the Nets, like I genuinely think I would give up three future first round picks to go and get another pick between 8 through 12. Like if OKC say the Jazz top 8 protected pick that OKC has lands at 9 through 14, right? Like I would trade two or three future firsts to go out and grab that pick. If a guy like Nicholas Abdelas, Koa P, whatever, like any of these guys, if any of those guys are available, I'm going in. I don't think OKC can roster this many players anymore. It's out of hand. Like they're just gonna keep flipping picks and getting future picks. It's gonna be like a never-ending cycle until they finally decide to make a move on somebody. How they won't make a move on Giannis to me still blows my mind. I think it's just they'd win 5 straight championships, but whatever. I mean, they gotta get rid of some picks at some point, right? They can't just make the G League All-Star team every year.
Yeah. I wanted to put something out there real quick. So we're talking about 15 wins or less. Since 17, 18, I won't count the two COVID strike seasons, right? So 17,
Mm-hmm.
18, 18, 19, and then the last 21, 22, 21, 22, 22, okay, all the way up to currently. There's only been three teams who have won 15 games or less. That is The 23-24 Pistons won 14. And then 22-23, the Pistons and it was 21-22. What was the other year? It's been 2 years. The Pistons did it twice, and the Wizards did it once. That's the only year anyone's won 15 games or less.
Yep.
It can be done, but I'm saying winning only 15 games in today's era, where people play 65 games, you rest your stars. Luka plays 60, Brunson plays, where the top players play 60, 65 games. It's hard to only win 15 games. That's what I'm saying. It's having the worst record in the NBA it's a tough ask. It's not what it used to be.
I mean, this stretch for the Nets is what scares me most. You've got Orlando who's struggling tomorrow. You've got Washington on Sunday who sucks. You have Boston in back-to-back games. You're probably going to split one with them. It's going to be.
I think you could get 2 out of 3 here. I think you'll get two. You'll get Washington. You'll get at least
Washington
one.
And split
you might get
Boston,
Washington
probably.
at home for Boston.
Yeah, I can see that. And then you got the Jazz on December 4th. Like these are some really important games that people are going to tell me that I'm a psychopath for actually saying this. But like these are important games early on in the season that you need to lose to solidify your place in that lottery, right? You can't go out there and beat dog shit teams and have the tiebreakers against these guys. You need to lose these games. So from now until mid-January, you've got Washington, 2 games against Boston. You have Charlotte. You have Utah. You have Washington again on January 2nd. Like you've got to lose these games. You have the Pelicans on January 14th. These are games that you majority of the time need to lose.
Yeah. And okay, let me segue this into what I want to talk about. Drake Powell specifically, but Powell and Yegor. They're playing much better. They're playing pretty well. What if we win games because they're scoring 20 a night?
Listen, if you, like I said before, if you win games because of your rookies, then I take those as more so moral wins than losses, right? I can lose a spot in the lottery because my rookie wins a game, right? I don't mind that. But when you have the scam Johnsons, who, by the way, I was being petty a little bit yesterday on Twitter because I went back in some of my comments and was looking at how people were infuriated that I hated Cam Johnson and that I was happy to trade him. Well, look how he's doing now. I'll take another victory on my side of saying that we won another trade. But yeah, I mean,
can we talk about this for a minute? We clearly won that trade. Clearly. Cam Johnson sucks.
Garbage. The guy's just not good at basketball. He overperformed on a tanking team, and people glorified him thinking that he was going to be, your third option long-term in Brooklyn. Get out of here. That guy's garbage.
People like Eric Slater, who I think give a respectable, I don't think Eric Slater is a basketball head, but he gives a respectable opinion. He was saying Cam Johnson's a better player than Michael Porter Jr. I'm like, better at what? Yeah, how better at what? He's not a better shooter, and that's the only thing Cam Johnson does well. Clearly, he's not a better shooter. He's not a better finisher. He's not a better rebounder. Like, what is he better than Michael Porter Jr. at exactly?
Riding an organization for money. That's what he's better at.
Making Sean Marks love you. Yeah,
exactly.
I
petting his leg for an extra $20 million.
I never understood the Michael Porter. The Cam Johnson love. I never got it, and I was being petty too with some Knicks fans who are complaining that Brunson got injured. I said, well, now you got Bridges to carry the team, so you should be good. I swear to God, I don't hate the Knicks. I have. It's not like the Yankees, who I think are gay, right?
All right, come on. Why do you got to come at me like this, dude? Stop it. Listen, Paul Skeens wants to be a Yankee. It's already been reported. All right. When we get Paul Skeens over to New York, and you guys are sitting there with 13 more years of washed up Juan Soto. And
Soto is an MVP finalist. Soto had a great year. Soto was not the problem. He was part of the solution, not part of the problem.
He was dog shit the first quarter of the season.
And how about the last 3 quarters of the season? One of the best players in
even
baseball.
Shittier because your guys' win-loss record was the worst in baseball for the last 3 months. So clearly he did his part in that. Screw the Mets.
Yeah. It was one of those. It was like Alonso got off to the hot start and Soto couldn't hit. And then Soto got off to a hot finish and Lindor couldn't hit. It's like
how do you think I feel with Judge and Stanton every year? It's like the battle of morons. One of them will play like an MVP, the other one plays like Helen Keller. It's always vice versa. There's never any consistency with those two guys. So I understand it, but no, still screw the Mets. And screw Juan Soto too, and his agent Scott Burrows.
Got him paid. He got his man paid.
He gets
did his
everybody
job.
paid, and you know what happens when he gets them paid? They go to dog shit teams and waste their careers.
Well, I mean, to be fair, the Mets had just gotten to the NLCS, this magical ride, and then they got Soto. I really did a year ago when they got him. I thought the Mets were going to win the World Series. I really did. Like it didn't work out.
It didn't work at all. I mean, you thought it was like championship or you thought it was like championship or bust season. I mean, you didn't even make the playoffs.
And then by August, it was just make the playoffs. Don't let this thing totally collapse. Like just save
and then it
some
totally
face
collapsed.
at least. Worse in a real way. In a real way, really bad.
It's got to be one of the worst seasons in like all of sports history.
But the Mets have a bunch of them. Like if you look at like the 10 like worst seasons in baseball history, like from
you probably got 6 of them.
Probably. Like you were too young for this, but like 07, they blew a 7-game lead with 14 games to play. How is that possible? And it was the same the Phillies last year.
What'd they go like 4-12 in that stretch?
It was really bad. And the next year it was like 7-17. It was not as bad, but it was epically bad to the Phillies again. It wasn't even that the Mets played all that bad. Philly just won every single night. So the Mets played like 500 and Philly just won every game. It's like, oh, wow. The year before that, it was the same thing. It was the Mets would jump out to a 5-0 lead, and that would be 5-3 in the ninth, and then they would lose 6-5. It was every single night. It was the same movie over and over and over and over again. And
check their FanDuel accounts.
Yes, this was before FanDuel, but yeah.
That's when the Italian mafia really ran gambling.
Yeah.
Then they just sold it over to FanDuel, so this way they can get it from them.
The Mets have some epic collapses. It's just brutal to watch them.
By the way, I forgot to tell you before. I had a net 6-leg parlay 2 nights ago when we played, and I didn't place it, but it hit. It was 5 to win 433. It's always the ones you don't place, man. It is rough out here in the gambling world.
But you guys do these 16-headed monster parlays.
The most I'll ever do is 6.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Because it's a surgical 6. You know, it rhymes. It goes well. So you always have to place a surgical 6.
All right. I can live with a 6-leg parlay as long as there's nothing ridiculous on it.
No, right? It was Emmanuel Quickly 20+ points, Claxton 15+ points, Brandon Ingram 4+ assists, Yegor over 12.5 points plus assists, Noah Clowney 2 threes, and Scotty Barnes double-double. All 6 of them hit.
I can live with this. Yeah.
I can't live with looking at a parlay that didn't hit and no money going into my account. Or I'm sorry, a parlay that did hit with no money going into my account. That hurt. Because that would have been like the first bet I hit in like 3 months. It's been rough out here. It's been dry.
Yeah. If you want to make money on boxing, I can make you money on boxing.
I can't do the big spending like you do. You put like $1,000 on 2 guys to win that are like minus $1,000. So I put
a lot more. I put a lot more than that. I mean, I will. But I put a lot more than that. It's not how I make.
I bet $5 and lose $5, and I feel like I lost a family member. I could never imagine betting $1,000 and sweating out an entire fight. Can't do it.
This year's been rough with all the draws, so I've had a lot of bets voided because there's been like an inordinate amount of draw. You don't lose the bet; it's just voided. That leg is voided out. Yeah. So the way I usually do it is I will take one prop bet. So I'll take like this week. I'm taking the over on the Catterall fight. And then I'll have one bet that's kind of 50-50, right? Which I'm taking Chris Eubank. So I'll take Eubank by decision, which pays plus 130. Then I'll take the over on the Catterall fight. So over 10.5 rounds. So basically it has to go the distance. And then I'll just sprinkle 2 or 3 layups. Like think about like if the Nuggets were playing the Long Island Nets, the layup, right? Like in boxing, you get 2 fights at one fight. Well, you could just bring down the odds on your parlays with those things. Like you're all minus 1,500, minus 1,800, but you just like sprinkle 3 of them in with your one evenish bet, your one prop, right? So the prop is minus 230. Eubank by decisions plus 130, and I got these three like minus 1800, minus 2000, minus 1200, and then you at the end of it you're plus 300, and that's your parlay. And it's really only one thing you have to sweat out. Now that this year has inordinately been amount of a draw, so you just void it. And now I hit, but I hit a 4-leg parlay that's like minus 300. It's like something. It's
like this is cool.
Yeah, it's something. I didn't lose. I won something, but yeah.
I hear you.
Let's try to get back to the Brooklyn Nets.
Yes,
the rookies are playing really well, and sarcastically, early in the season when they were playing bad and the Nets were losing, I'm saying to everyone, "This is what y'all wanted, right? This is what y'all wanted. It's unwatchable." Now they're still losing and they're still piss poor, but it's very watchable because the rookies are playing well, isn't it?
It is. We were talking about this before the show. Like, this is the most dignity that I've had as a Nets fan in well over 3 years. Like, the only 2 times that I had any form of dignity and hope was when we went 18-2 before blowing it up, and then the KD Bucks series. Like, those were the only 2 times as a Nets fan in the last 5 or 6 years where I've really had hope. So this is another one. I at least see the progression of the young players. I at least see some of our 3rd and 6th year guys like Noah Clowney, Nick Claxton raising their values. And we're losing, and we're doing what we were supposed to do this year, which is get the best pick possible. So I feel really good about this season so far. I'm not upset. I haven't had to put out an angry Instagram post-game post. I haven't had to, do like a mass unfollowing of people because of fucking, them getting angry at me over calling Cam Johnson a scam. Like I haven't had to worry about any of this year. Michael Porter Jr. chucks up shots and he looks cool while doing it. Cam Thomas isn't playing, so I don't have to worry about talking about his inefficiencies. The rookies look good. Noah Clowney's improving. Great times. I'm having fun right now.
I gotta update my ticket. The Nets are 1-10 now, right? I still have them at 1-9. I have to update.
Yes, they are 1-10. The Washington Wizards are 1-11. They're not that bad of a team. They're tanking.
That's what I'm not worried about them. They're going to win a bunch of games. They're going to get better. They're going to win a bunch of games. Has to get in the midseason form late in the season. They're going to win 25 games this year. I'm not worried about them having the worst record in basketball. Indy, you may have to keep an eye on Indy.
Who's gonna tell Nick here? Who's gonna tell him?
Let's go. Let's go.
Who's gonna tell him?
Look, crazy
sorry,
things
my
happen
man.
In football. I mean, you can get the fumbles, interceptions, kick return touch. Things can happen. Things can happen. All
Listen,
right.
You're going up against MVP Drake May this year.
I said when they drafted him, you do not want the Patriots. If you're a Jets fan, you do not want the Patriots to draft Drake May. You don't want that to happen because we beat them the last week of the season, and they went from 4-3 because we beat them, and then they got Drake May. I'm like, you don't want that to happen. That win, it was Belichick's last game as a head coach. Like, we beat him. It's like, okay, now they're gonna get Drake May, and you don't want that to happen. And now they got Drake May.
I'm sure as hell it did.
10 years, Buffalo's got Allen, New England's got Drake May, and we have Justin Fields. How's that gonna go?
Yep. I hear you. I was gonna say we're gonna talk about some trades here shortly.
Yeah,
we're gonna kind of get into some more of these rookies though.
I want to segue this because we're talking about Claxton's trade, and we'll segue into the trade. Nick Claxton, he's playing better. I mean, I've been the biggest hater of Nick Claxton, and not even the hater. I've just been objective about how bad he's been. He's been good. I want to give him his flowers. Offensively, he's finishing. I mean, he still doesn't really have any offensive game, but at least he's finishing at the rim. Defensively, he's not getting abused every night. He's grabbing some rebounds, although I never considered him a good rebounder for a big man. He's playing better. He's doing everything better. If he plays like this, A, he's going to have a lot of trade value, and B, do we really want to trade him? If he's playing this well, is he something we can grow with? What are your thoughts on first on the improvement of Claxton? Then we'll talk about whether or not we keep him or trade him.
I think I'm at the point where I'm okay with keeping Claxton potentially for the remainder of this season, but if the opportunity comes and the only way that I would let go of him as of right now is if somebody's giving me a 2026 first. It doesn't have to be a top 10 first, but even if it's a mid to late 20s, right? All I want is a first round, an additional first round pick this year. because the Nets, as of right now, are on pace to have 3 second-round picks. I forgot that our second-round pick is protected 31 through 55. So as of right now, we're going to have that. We're going to have the Hawks' second-round pick, and we're also going to have a swap between 4 different teams. We're going to get the least favorable of those 4 in the second round. So if you can package up like 2 of those seconds and then a mid to late first plus a future first to move up into that like 12 through 17 range, I would do it. This is the year to do it. So, if we keep Claxton, then I'm fine with that as of right now. But ideally, I think that you do need to capitalize on how much his value has risen. I'm looking at his stats right now. Over the last 7 games, he's averaging 17.7 points, 8.1 rebounds, and 4.3 assists. Those are all career highs outside of rebounds.
He
He
leads
is
the team in
also,
assists, if I'm correct. Does he? I think he leads the
yes, he
team in
does.
assists. Yeah.
Yeah, him and Michael Porter Jr. are the 2 best in terms of assists per game on the Nets as of right now. Which I don't know if MPJ is anymore because of Yegor, but I could be wrong. Turnovers per game too, only 1.6 per game. Like that's not bad for a center who's averaging 4.5 assists per night right now.
Yeah, the
So
4.5 assists is that's it. It's a good sign, right? Because he's not a guy that's going to demand double teams. He can kick it out to the open shooter. I mean, that means he's distributing the ball well. Him getting 4 assists a game is more than Cam Thomas. Think about that.
100%. I mean, we're going to talk about some second round draft picks and things when Fanspo releases their mock drafts, but one guy that I would keep an eye on for the Nets this year in the second round is Henry Vassar, the UNC sophomore big man. He's a really solid guy. I saw that we were talking about Kalkbrenner in the comments. So, yeah, I mean, if you're looking for a second rounder at the big man spot, you could be looking at Kalkbrenner, or not Kalkbrenner,
Yeah, he's talking about Kalkbrenner, the
Vassar,
big white
yeah.
dude. Yeah.
Henry Vassar from UNC. He's going to be a really solid player this year.
I want to address this. Like, John, I get what you're saying in the sense that, like, what's he finishing at the rim, and yes, Duran crushed him, but Duran is like this era's Dwight Howard. That's a man child. He's still only like 21. That's a man child right there. Like, what do his parents look like? Like, what factory, what lab was that guy made in? Yes, Duran crushed him. I grant you that, Duran. But other than that, he's not getting bodied by Bismarck Biombo anymore, right? Like, I'm not saying he's a great post defender and he's a great block. I'm not saying that. I'm saying he's not getting picked on and abused every night like he was last year. Like last year, Cat wasn't even hitting his shots and scored 40 off him because what's he going to do with Cat down low? That's not happening this year. Like, he's playing better. He's defending the block better. Is a guy like Duran who where did they find him? What factory was that guy made? Look at him. Did he abuse Claxton? Yeah, but he abuses most people. Other than that, his post defense and his ability to finish. Do you remember how bad he was finishing at the rim last year? It was brutal. He shot 57% and only on point blank shots, which is not good. Like DeAndre Jordan and Robert Williams did that. They shot 75%, 72%, right? Like, you should not be missing those shots, and he was. So I would say finish and defending the block. How would you address this question, Dylan?
I think that Claxton's handle has improved. I think that he is a bit more trustworthy with bringing the ball up and creating his own kind of shot when it comes to driving into the lane. I think that his finishing ability at the rim has gotten better. I think that his hustle has gotten better. You're not seeing stupid techs and laziness on the defensive end as of this year. Offensively, he seems to definitely have a bit better of a post game in terms of being able to use his body to then get to the rim. I'm not saying that he's hitting post fades, but just overall the offensive ability has improved. So regardless, either that's good for Brooklyn because you have a offensive playing big man who can give you 15 plus per game, or you have a trade piece now and a guy who's going to net you back some real value. Again, I do think Charlotte is a team that would look into him this year, especially if they look to move on from LaMelo Ball. Like there are certain teams out there that could really utilize Nick Claxton's skill set as of right now. Charlotte being a team who's in the lottery right now, I believe they have 2 first-round picks, one of which is outside of the lottery, but they do have one that is within. I'm looking at it right now. You've got Charlotte at tied for 9th with Utah, and then you also have them tied for 17th via Phoenix. So they have picks. I don't think that you would be able to get a 2026 pick out of them, but they do have a 2027 top two protected Mavericks first round pick that I would be highly intrigued in getting. Reason B, if you can package that pick up with a couple of others, you could probably move up in this year's draft. So there are routes there where you can get something out of Claxton.
In this, when he said Ryan, he's talking about Kalkbrenner, right? That's who he's talking about. He has been good. This is somebody that you had your eye. We could have took him, but I only knew him last year because you spoke kind of highly of him. He's out of Creighton.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't remember watching him play, but I remember you always mentioning his name and always, he's good. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that we can get him. Right?
I don't think that we would get him
Yeah.
either, but I do think that a full-time starting big man is a good thing for them, and also he fits the timeline of some of these younger players. Kalkbrenner isn't a guy that I see being a 30-minute a night center. Like he's good, but in a limited role. I don't think that he should be utilized that much, just because of the fact that he is a bit. We know how some of the bigger guys work in the NBA. Their careers don't last as long. I believe he's 7'2". As of right now, he's averaging 26.5 minutes a night. He's putting up 10 points, 6.5 rebounds, and 3 blocks per game. He's by far one of the better defensive bigs in the league as of right now. But I think you can give him similar minutes. Who knows? Maybe Charlotte isn't the team as of right now that will pursue Claxton, but I do see there being some teams out there that would. Utah, I don't know if they would because, I mean, I don't think Walker Kessler's coming back, but if they do land a pick between like 5 through 9, I could see them, or 5 through 8, I should say, because it's protected. I could see them drafting like a Chris Snack Jr. or a Jaden Quinnens. So I don't know if they would trade for a big necessarily, but I'd have to do a bit more looking into it. There are a few teams out there though that I know that would look into him as of right now.
And John's right, brother. Sean Marks' biggest problem is he doesn't like investing in actual centers, right? He wouldn't. Kalkbrenner is not a Sean Marks player.
No.
So, yeah. But that could work out a trade with Charlotte. That's a piece I would like to get in return here. I mean, he looks pretty good. I would be interested in bringing Kalkbrenner. If Charlotte wants to trade for, and I'm not saying that they did, if Charlotte did want to trade for Claxton, Kalkbrenner is a piece I would want back in that trade for sure. And so basically you're now okay with keeping Claxton through the remainder of the season, which is a far cry from where we were a month ago.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, listen, I've said it forever. I've been a Claxton guy since the day that we got him. I want nothing more than to see him turn into the franchise big, but he hadn't shown improvements for 2 straight years, and we're finally
he's
starting
shown
to
regression, serious regression. Not
yeah.
improvement, actual serious regression. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, he's finally starting to show the improvements as to where we wanted to see him 2 years ago. So, do I think that he's going to be on this team 2 years from now? No. Do I see him being on this team past the deadline? Potentially. But regardless, I think that you're going to get some form of value out of him, whether it's at the deadline, whether it's around draft night, whether it's after draft night during the offseason, or if it's at next year's trade deadline. I think regardless, you're going to get something for him if he's packaged in a deal for a star or if he's packaged in a deal for more picks. I think you're going to get something out of him if he keeps playing the way that he is.
Let's. You pulled up a couple of trades. I want to get to these, and then I want to basically close out with some John Morant talk because we both agree that John Morant is not ending the season. He's not finishing the season in Memphis, correct?
No.
I want to touch on that. All right. So next trade deadline, mock trades, 3-team deal between Brooklyn, Houston, and Dallas. When did you? This was yesterday. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, this was a 3-team deal that I had was looking into a bit. I do think that there are going to be some definite moves this year. One of them being Kyrie Irving to Houston, another one being Anthony Davis to Chicago. But in this first trade, if you scroll back up, I have the Nets getting Fred VanVleet, who's out for the remainder of the season with a torn ACL, and Jae'Sean Tate, plus the rights to their 2027 first-round pick back. The Mavericks would be getting Reed Shepherd, Tari Eason, the Rockets' 2027 first-round pick from us, plus the 2029 Mavericks or Suns first round pick from the Rockets, which originally was Brooklyn's pick via the Kevin Durant trade. And then finally, the Rockets would get Kyrie Irving and Cam Thomas. I think the reuniting of Kyrie, Cam Thomas, and KD over in Houston could be very interesting, especially with the remaining roster that they would have with Amen Thompson, Alperen Sengun, Jabari Smith, Dorian Finney-Smith, Steven Adams. They'd have a true contender over there in Houston this year. So Cam Thomas as a viable six-man, Kyrie Irving and KD reunited with Amen Thompson and Sengun. I think that would be a contender over in Houston this year.
All right, so I got a couple of questions. Obviously, I think the Rockets make this. This is a no-brainer for the Rockets, I think.
Realistically, it's 2 first-round picks, Fred VanVleet, Reed Shepard, Tari Eason, and Jae'Sean Tate.
I like Jae'Sean Tate as like that's a guy I'd like to keep. Like I like Jae'Sean Tate. I think he's kind of a jack of all trades. I like that game.
I mean, I wanted Tari Eason in this deal, but realistically, you'll see why in a second I did the VanVleet contract for us. I'll let you finish your thoughts before I explain more on that.
Well, I want to. So to me, okay, the Rock who makes this trade? Who says no? I don't say no to this, but here's my concern that Sean Mark says no to this because you are taking on 21 million more in salary.
Mm-hmm.
The Nets don't want to spend. Right? Like, I like the trade. I'd have no problem bringing in the 21 million, but the Nets seem not to want to bring in any salary. So would the Nets be hesitant to add that much salary?
I don't know, in all honesty, because at the end of the season, towards the second half of the season, there is a possibility that the Nets could be the main facilitator in a few deals, right? So taking back salary, I don't think will be the biggest issue in the world. I think it's how they maneuver around it in the offseason to then cut the salary again. If you scroll down a little bit, you'll see the second and final trade that I have here. It is another 3-team deal, and you'll see why I added the VanVleet contract here in a second. So the second deal is between Brooklyn, Milwaukee, and Charlotte. The Nets would receive Kyle Kuzma, Josh Green, the 2027 Mavericks top 2 protected first-round pick via Charlotte, and a Bucks first-round pick if you go back up. 2026 swap rights. The more favorable pick is heading to Atlanta, so the Nets would be getting a later first-round pick via Milwaukee. And then the Bucks would get Miles Bridges from Charlotte and Haywood Highsmith from Brooklyn. And then the Hornets would be getting Nick Claxton and Jalen Wilson. So again, you're taking on a first-round pick from from Milwaukee to take on Kyle Kuzma's contract, and you're getting a first-round pick for Nick Claxton. I think that's very fair value. The Hornets don't have to give up either of their 2026 first-round picks, which I think would be valuable to them. And then not to mention you'd be adding 3 different players who are on 2-year deals, Kuzma, Josh Green, and Fred VanVleet, to match with Michael Porter Jr.'s 2-year contract. That would give you roughly $99.3 million in cap space for the 2027 offseason. So the goal is still to be big spenders during that offseason, which there are a very large amount of high caliber role players, third options, second options, first options who are set to be free agents in that year. And I think that that's the year that Brooklyn will look to spend big.
So this is interesting here. So, okay, Kuzma's contract, Josh Green, and 2027 Mavericks top 2 protected first-round pick via Charlotte. And then Milwaukee's 2026 first-round pick swap, most favorable to Atlanta.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I mean, realistically, look at it this way. How I see that is if you can get your 2027 first-round pick back and you can get that Dallas 2027 first, there's no reason in hell not to move up into the lottery in the 2026 draft. Those are 2 highly valuable picks, right? I would sacrifice giving a team a potential lottery pick in 2027 if it meant landing 2 lottery picks this year. I would. I think this draft class is that good.
All right, so here's I'm definitely making this if I'm the Nets, and I'm definitely making this if I'm the Bucks. What I'm confused about here is Charlotte's direction. If Charlotte's trading for their big, or they're looking to compete. If they're looking to compete, why are they trading Bridges? You know what I'm saying?
I think the main reason for it is because I don't think that they're looking to compete this year. I do think that LaMelo Ball is going to get traded. So I think it would be more so adding a player like Nick Claxton along with their timeline. I think he's a really good fit along guys like Con Kneppel and Brandon Miller. And then going out there and drafting, your potential long-term point guard. Maybe the Hornets get lucky in the lottery and can draft a Mikal Brown Jr. or a Darius Acuff, somebody like that. And then also being able to get some form of value back for LaMelo. I don't think that he's going to get you back an all-star package because of his injury history, but can he get you back 2 first-round picks and players? I definitely think so, and at that point, I think they'd already be a play-in caliber team. Con Kneppel has clearly shown, which, by the way, can I get some props on that one again? Kneppel has shown that he is a top-tiered rookie in this year's class. Like I had said during the draft process, he reminds me a ton of a mixture between Klay Thompson and Austin Reeves. The kid is a fucking dog. Please put some respect on Duke players, please. Fuck off.
He's played well. He's played well.
Anybody
He
who said
certainly
Con
played
Kneppel
well.
was not an NBA player, lick a taint. All right. Con Kneppel is that guy. Yeah, but no, seriously, I do think that that would be a really fun young core for them. And then realistically, Charlotte isn't a hub for stars, right? So if you're going to make necessary moves to build a proper roster around certain guys that you're drafting, plus the 2 potential top 20 picks that you could have this year, then I think moving on from LaMelo and Miles Bridges to add players who fit the system and fit the timeline a bit better are necessary. Miles Bridges makes a ton of sense to move. But, what happens with LaMelo is going to depend on whether or not Claxton's a good fit there. If you keep LaMelo, then I think the LaMelo, Con Kneppel, Brandon Miller, Tajon Saloon, and Nick Claxton starting 5 would be great. Not great, but it would be playing, if not slight playoff worthy over time. But who knows? They have the opportunity to draft their LaMelo Ball replacement this year if they are to land a top 7 pick. So
these are the kind of moves. If the Nets were to bring in both these trades, you bring in Van Vliet, you bring in Kyle Kuzma.
Mm-hmm.
This is how you tank a season, right? I mean, Kyle Kuzma is on a horrible contract, one of the worst in the NBA, and Fred Van Vliet is out for the season. So you're getting no value for a lot of money, but you're getting picks.
Exactly. And I think the most important aspect to look at right now is the simple fact that the Nets aren't good, right? Like, this isn't like okay, if we spend a little money this offseason and add some nice little, role players that maybe will be in play in contention, this team is far away from that, right? Originally, the plan to me was, okay, maybe you'll have the opportunity to, better the roster this year, be in the play-in next year because you don't own your own pick. But this team is so far behind in terms of the win column that I wouldn't even risk not having your own pick next year. Even if you get your pick back this year, I still believe packaging that pick to then move up in this year's draft class is the smart decision. So I think that getting that pick back is going to be extremely valuable, whether we keep it and use it next year if we're in the lottery again, or if you're packaging it this year and moving up in the 2026 draft class even more to get a secondary pick.
No, I agree. Getting that pick back is vital, but getting that pick back is a pro and a con. Because if we get that pick back, that's fine. That's good. But we're going to be horrible again, and we're going to be non-competitive again. And that's 4 years in a row of being non-competitive.
I don't think that it's going to make you not competitive. I just think that it gives you more of a safety in case if you aren't competitive. Does that make sense? Like, rather than not owning your pick and the potential of you sucking ass and giving another team a top 5 pick, right? Now you at least have the opportunity to where you're either going to get rewarded for sucking ass. Maybe you'll get lucky with your pick. Say you are, 11 through 14 in the lottery and somehow you get lucky and you get into the top 4. Okay, that's great. Or guess what? You have a mid to late first round pick in the 14 through 23 range, and you are a play-in team. Like, regardless, I think it's a win to get your pick back.
To get our pick back, don't you want to kind of maximize that pick? Like, if we're trading all of this.
Well, what are we really trading?
Not trading. Yeah, with Cam Thomas, who has no use on this team.
Yeah,
all right.
You're giving up Cam Thomas, and you're giving the Rockets pick back, not to the Rockets, but you're giving it to the Mavericks. Like, realistically, you're trading Cam Thomas and a pick between 20 and 30 for your first-round pick back. That's really it in that deal. And I'm taking that all day long.
Yeah, no, I'm good with the trades. Yeah, when I first read it, I said, okay, we're getting our picks back. We're just going to look to be non-competitive again. There's only so many years you can be non-competitive until that organization. Then you become Washington. You become Charlotte. You just become a laughingstock organization. You become the New York Jets. You just become a laughingstock organization where nobody wants to go.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to avoid that. So you have to get competitive. You have to at least be decent at some point. Yeah, so we could be decent. and keep the pick. We're not going to be a championship contender, right? But can we go 500? Can we be a play-in team? Can we be decent? Maybe. We're still gonna we're gonna have to hit on a rookie, and that rookie is gonna have to be pretty good right away. And then we're still gonna have to sign somebody. We're still gonna have to spend some money and get another quality player, because right now the roster is so bad and so young. Like, how are we going to be competitive next year? Like, the only way I can see being competitive next year is to hit on the rookie immediately, and then also sign someone, another all-star caliber player.
No, I mean, how I see it as of right now is find ways to add more draft capital, right? Just maximize the opportunities. Do what OKC did. OKC has a fuck you amount of picks. Like, it doesn't like when they say like, oh, LeBron's taking the fuck you 3 when he pulls it from half court. Like, that's what I want to do with picks, right? I want to do what OKC's doing. OKC is 12-1 and has 2 projected top 10 picks right now. Okay, that's disgusting. You know what I mean? That's where I want to be in 8 years from now. So maximize on being able to grab more future draft picks, right? Figure out a way if there's a way to get another one this year. Those are the first 2 things that I want done this year, right? During the offseason, if say you do get your pick back, say that you want to spend a little bit of money, grab a couple of role players that are solid, who could be seen as long-term fits when you're ready to contend. By all means, go do so. I don't think the Nets are going to spend a lot of money this offseason because they're going to want to maximize on the 2027 offseason. So regardless of what they do, either A, you overperform and you're a borderline, if not play-in team, and your pick is in the 10 through 17 range, or you suck ass, your rookies look even better, but you're still losing, similar to like Washington is this year, and you land a top 10 pick in the 2027 class, right? So there's really no lose in getting your pick back, but also trying to find ways to maximize on some of the players that you currently have who are raising their values.
I want to address John's comment here. Bradley Beal and the Clippers 2030 first protected. I want to waive protections, but let's for Cam Thomas. You'd be trading Cam Thomas for a Clippers 2030. And Beal's out for the season, correct? Is a season-ending injury?
Yeah, Beal's out for the season. The guy barely played basketball, and he got hurt for the year. Another one, just like Kawhi Leonard. Just fucking retire, dude. You guys suck.
This trade, I like this trade. Usually, although I want the protection gone. If I'm taking Bradley Beal's contract, I want that protection gone.
Oh, I'm not taking Bradley Beal's contract by any means necessary. No.
But unprotected first?
No.
Okay.
No. I can do that by getting Fred VanVleet, who tore his ACL and has an expiring contract and also makes half the money. No, I'm good.
Okay. Kyle Kuzma and MPJ's expiring contract would give Brooklyn $60+ million max slot.
And then also factor in Fred VanVleet and Josh Green in that deal. So
yeah,
$99.3 million roughly. Could be a little more based on ascending contracts of Michael Porter Jr.'s, but yeah, that's the way to maximize your 2027 offseason. You're now looking at signing a superstar and adding $40 to $50 million worth of role players alongside your current already constructed young core of Noah Clowney, Yegor, Drake Powell. So to me, that's a no-brainer.
I wanted to transition into one more trade. You don't have it up on your list here, but we talked about it off air. I want to address it. It's something I would look to do. I don't know if we have a trade package for it. I don't think that we do. But John Morant is going to be traded. I'm all for trading for John Morant. He's exactly the player I'd want to trade for. He's in his prime. He's 26, I think. He's a game-changing player. He's carried teams into the playoffs. He's had MVP type seasons. I would love to. I understand he's injury plagued. I understand he's undersized. I got it. Check. Understood. That is a dynamic impact player that can attract other star players. I would absolutely be open to trading for John Morant. So let me ask you a two-part question. Do you think John Morant definitely gets traded this season? And if so, is it someone that you would want the Nets to move on, to at least look into?
Yes, he's definitely going to get traded. No, stay the fuck away from Brooklyn.
All right. Is it the injuries? What is the concern on?
It's the attitude, it's the suspensions, it is the injuries, it is the lack of impacting the game of winning. I don't want him. I really do like Ja. I think he's a very good player, but he's not healthy. At that point, just trade for LaMelo Ball. Why don't you? If you want a point guard who's a border,
let's talk about that too.
but that's what
Let's
I'm saying though. If you want a
yeah.
guy who's making 35 to 40 million and you want him to play 30 games and waste your time, then by all means go out and grab whoever you want. But with what you're trying to do, it doesn't make sense. You've just drafted 4 guards considerably, 3 of which can play the point guard, 1 of which in Drake Powell can play the shooting guard. There is absolutely no reason to add another point guard to this team. Point guard stars are out of the picture for Brooklyn. I don't know if people understand that. Yegor is going to be looked at as your long-term point guard. You're not looking to add a point guard who is a star in this league on this team. Yegor is going to be your point guard, whether people want it to be or not. 6'9" and has the ability long term to be your third option in terms of impact on winning. We're looking at Josh Giddey 2.0 here if he develops properly. This is Josh Giddey with Franz Wagner like floor spacing. That's what Yegor Joman is. So we got to stop looking at point guards. I know it's the flashy position. I know it's like everything that New York wants and needs, but you got your point guard at home. His name's Yegor Joman. So let's steer away from point guards. Let's go look for wings that are stars in 2 years, or centers, but let's stay away from point guards. There is no need to look at the LaMelos, the Ja Morants, the Kyries. There's no need for it anymore. We've got our point guard at home.
Here's what I would say to that. Yegor and Ben Saraf don't get a say in whether or not I bring in Ja Morant. Right now, the Nets are so bad. They're so talent depleted. I can't start worrying about positional fit, right? Like I'm so bad. What are my weaknesses? Everything. I'm bad at everything. I have the worst roster in basketball, and I think the worst roster in basketball by a wide margin. I can't start worrying about what position this guy plays and what my fit is. No one on this team is going to be here, right? Like everyone is possible trade possible trade bait. Everybody. If I can get Ja Morant, now I have a block that I can build with, and I like Yegor too. Yegor is not untouchable. He's not like he's a good player. I like what I've seen so far from him, and I like what I've seen from Drake Powell so far. Neither one of those guys are untouchable. Ja Morant is a building block. So now I have a building block.
But what is he a building block around? He's had Jaren Jackson Jr., he's had Desmond Bane, he's had great rotations, he's had very good coaching. He's done nothing. He's been injured.
How's Desmond Bane doing now?
Desmond Bane's doing fine. He's not playing at the level of what he wants to be playing at, but he's playing fine. He's a third option now. He's not a second option.
Right, and when he was playing with Ja, he was a borderline all-star.
Because he was a second option. He was the second option scorer. He's playing next to Paolo, who averages 25 plus, and he's playing next to Franz Wagner, who's averaging 23 plus. Desmond Bane averages like 19 to 22 points per game throughout his career. So yeah, he's the third option scorer over there. He's more of a spot-up shooter over there now. He's playing like a Klay Thompson-like role. Like this Ja to Brooklyn is not it's just there's no common sense there. It's like it's not even to be like that, but that's like you last year with Zion Williamson.
I was going to transition to that next. I was going to close out with
that. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. You're 1-10. Your clear objective is to get a top tier pick this year. Why would you add a guy that's going to add maybe 3 to 5 extra wins?
Because you just said Ja's going to be injured. Ja's not playing great, right? Like he's injured. So he's not going to win me a bunch of games. Like,
but he's going to. So the same reason that we all don't want Cam Thomas here because he's not good for the rookies and their development is the same reason why I don't want Ja Morant here. Why would I grab a guy who plays the same position? I hate to be that person, but no, I don't value Ja Morant more than I do Yegor Joman. A 6'9" point guard who over his last 3-4 games is averaging 10 plus points, 4 plus rebounds, 4 plus assists in limited minutes. I mean, he's playing less than 28 a game. This is a guy who has upside. Like, Ja Morant has hit his peak. There's no such thing anymore in Ja Morant's game that's going to improve. He is what he is.
We can play him together. And
how?
And this is why you need a head coach, right? Like I talked about this with the Jets on a Jets podcast. Like, why not draft Jeremiah Love? Well, what about Breece Hall? Figure out a way to play them together. Like, I'm not going to pass up on Jeremiah Love because I have Breece Hall and I like Breece Hall. Like, I'm not going to pass up on Ja Morant because I have Yegor. We need a head coach in here. Like, this is not like playing Kidd and Stockton together, right? Like, it's not like both guys are pure points. who can only distribute the ball. We can figure out a way to have a 6'9" point guard and a 6'2" point guard with off the charts athleticism, right? Like next level freak athlete type stuff.
35 games. It's good enough for 35 games. Again, until he proves something to me like Zion is supposed to prove something to me, I don't want these types of guys on my team. 1. 2, it doesn't make sense to add any of these guys and waste assets when you can just be getting back assets, right? Why do you want to spend assets on already star caliber players who barely play when you can get value back for guys who are on your team who aren't even stars but are raising their values, and you can continue building for the future? Because at the end of the day, you need a 10-year plan, not a 3-year plan. We tried the 3-year plan in Brooklyn twice. It didn't work both times. Paul Pierce, horrible trade. Worst trade in NBA history. Luka could now be the next one. Now you're looking at the KD era. Didn't work. 3 Hall of Famers, 3 playoff disappointments, no Eastern Conference Finals, fuck all to show for. I'm not doing all this again. Rebuild. Do it properly. Do it correctly.
But
Stop
Josh
wasting our fucking
26,
time.
that's a guy you rebuild with.
Nick
Right, like-
Claxton's 26, and we're all talking about trading him.
Well, now we're not because he's playing well, right? Like we still, obviously, we're still talking about it. I shouldn't say that, right? But like now we're both kind of like, all right, like we're not in any rush to trade Nick Claxton like we were last year. If you get a guy like Ja, you can't build a house unless you start with the foundation.
Who would you rather, Darren Peterson, AJ DeBansto, or Cam Boozer, or Ja Morant?
I would rather have the 3 college kids you just named, but I don't think it's either or. I think it's and both.
Away from the idea of trading for a Ja Morant or a Zion this year. Wait for that shit next offseason. But they're not going to be there next offseason.
He's not available next offseason.
But that's my point. So then at that point, it's not worth it. You got to make the big boy decision on that one. Do you want the top 3 pick, all 3 of which have better upside than Ja Morant ever has and never will? Or do you want Ja Morant just because he's the flashy toy that's available on the market? You know what I mean? It's like a kid that goes into a store 3 weeks before Christmas and they're waving around a toy that they want. And it's like, you know what? Maybe you should wait and see if Santa brings it for you. If it's available later on, then let's have a different discussion. But this year, no. Stay the course, suck ass, get the top pick, and let's keep it pushing.
Just like trading for Darren Williams back in 2010 didn't change the direction of the team. We're still terrible, right? Like it didn't. Okay.
Yes and no, though. But you're also looking at a guy that can get you a couple of extra wins, right? If you don't end up trading Claxton this year, and then you bring back Cam Thomas, and you don't end up trading him, okay. Well, now you have Ja Morant, Cam Thomas, and Nick Claxton, along with Michael Porter Jr. Now you're shifting more towards a play-in team than you are a lottery, like a top 5 bottom team.
This year?
With that, if that's your starter, I mean, realistically, you can't have that starting core because you'd have to trade Nick Claxton for Ja Morant regardless.
Which is why I don't think the trade.
But that's my other point, though, too. It's like, okay, so we've all understood and agreed that you would rather AJ, Darren, or Boozer over Ja Morant, right? We've all agreed on that?
Yeah.
Okay. So now you're also factoring in the ability to get some form of positive value for Nick Claxton versus having to attach shit to Nick Claxton to then get Ja Morant. Just doesn't make sense.
I'm trying to keep Claxton in this trade because those are boys. I want to keep them in the.
All right, but so then you got to trade Michael Porter Jr.
Yeah, there's no way to do that, which is why I don't think the trade's realistic, right? Like Nick Claxton would have to be the centerpiece of any trade to Memphis.
It would have to be one of Nick Claxton or Michael Porter Jr.
Well, I'm not trading Michael Porter Jr.
because they're not taking Terrence Mann and Cam Thomas.
Yeah.
You're probably looking at Nick Claxton, Cam Thomas, and 2 first-round picks, which I'm not doing.
Give me that again.
Cam Thomas, Nick Claxton, and 2 first-round picks. I'm not doing it.
I don't think they're doing that either. Like I'm with you, but I don't think they're making that trade either.
Well, Ja Morant's value is pretty much the same as Kyrie's when we traded him: a first and 2 seconds, plus some salary fillers. The fact that they'd be getting Claxton and Cam Thomas in that deal actually is something that they should be all over. But at the end of the day, I don't think that
he's on an expiring deal. He's not, and then you don't have his bird rights. He's not really of any value unless you think you're going to compete this year. You know what I'm saying? Like Claxton, Kyrie had value because Dallas was trying to compete that year.
And that didn't work.
Oh, they missed the playoffs.
Yeah, they pulled the Mets.
Yeah. but they were like the 6th seed or the 5th seed, something like that, when they made the trade for him. And then it
where Kyrie goes, shit blows up. Have we not learned the trend yet?
I'm with you. I'm with you. But to be fair, the next year they did make the finals.
And he played like shit.
I'm not. That's your boy. That's your boy.
Oh, man.
To close out, I did want to do the Zion thing again because we can't go through a complete podcast without referencing Bridges, which I already did. Shout out Bridges. The Knicks should be fine. They have Bridges. Carry your team.
They gave up 5-6 first-round picks for him.
Why not? Like, he's so good. Just let him carry your team. Like, what's the problem? I don't. What's the deal? You got Bridges. You should be set. So we've mentioned Bridges. Now we need to talk about the other guy I always talk, Zion. Zion's going to be traded too, is he not?
I don't know. We last year we were talking about a fat injured bag of Doritos versus now an in shape injured bag of Doritos. There's no difference for my mindset. He hasn't proven that he can stay on the floor. I don't want him. I love my Duke guy, but he hasn't proven shit.
Oh, shout out to Madrid, Spain. Shout out. Great show, guys. Appreciate you, NJ Nets. Yeah, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Appreciate that. Good to have Net fans over there in Madrid.
The Nets are a top 3 organization in terms of fan base around the world, so that is awesome to see.
I don't really understand why. Like, if you were like in a different,
because we pump all of our marketing over there. We stopped marketing in New York because we know that it was a dumb fucking decision.
But why?
Sorry, I'm a New Jersey guy. Everybody.
I would go root for a different team. Like, if I didn't have I grew up. And Kenny Anderson, Derek Coleman, Jonathan Patrick, I fell in love with the Nets, right?
Yeah.
They were on Sports Channel back in the day, watched every game. On my little TV in my bedroom, was probably a 13-inch television back in 1992, watched every game. So if you live in another country, you don't have a local team, and you have an NBA package where you can watch every game, why would you like this dog crap organization?
Listen, I'm going to be very honest. If the Nets would have moved to Brooklyn and changed the name from the Nets, I wouldn't be a fan. I'm only a fan still because they are called the Nets. Like, that's still New Jersey to me. If they would have changed the name, though, I wouldn't be here.
I agree with that. They can't. Yeah, you can't change the city and the name. That's like the Houston Oilers to the Tennessee Titans. It's a completely different organization.
It's a completely different organization. Same thing with the Seattle SuperSonics and the
OKC Thunder.
Like, that is not the same organization. The only thing that connected those two organizations with one another is KD being drafted by the Sonics. That's literally
it. That's the only. It's like the Cleveland Browns and the Baltimore Ravens. The only was Ray Lewis. That's it.
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah. So let me ask you this: hypothetically, the NBA expands. The NBA expands to 2 cities, and we get the New Jersey Swamp Dragons. So you got the Swamp Dragons and the Brooklyn Nets. Who are you a fan of?
We're staying with the Nets because it's the Nets.
All right. Okay. Shout out.
But the other thing that I will mention too is there's no way in hell they ever expand in New Jersey.
I agree.
Unless if you're bringing
on a short list, though. Jersey was on the alleged short list of.
I was gonna say the only way that I see that happening is that they move the Nets back to New Jersey. That's the only way that I can ever see that happening. I don't think that they would have 2 teams in the city and 1 outside. I don't see that.
Hockey though, right? They have that in hockey.
Well, you have the Rangers, you have the Islanders, and then you have the Devils. But the Devils have always been in New Jersey, so it's not like, it's not like they had to.
I don't think they would do it either. I agree with you. The 2 expansion teams are Vegas and Seattle.
I would say the next 4 teams will be Vegas, Seattle, New Mexico, and another Canadian team. If not
New Mexico, really?
Yeah, they've been talking. Or no, I'm sorry, not New Mexico, Mexico City. They've been talking about a Mexico team for a while. So
I think that's a good idea. Mexico City is an emerging market. Like, there's a ton.
I think that's a horrible idea.
Why is it a horrible idea?
You're going to put U.S. players on Mexican soil while you've got the Mexican cartel going up against the U.S. right now?
Yeah. Hell no. From a financial perspective, like, that's
from
an emerging
a cool
market.
Scenery perspective. Hell yeah, that's sick. I would love to have a secondary team in a different country that's not called Canada. That'd be cool. But no,
Mexico City population. It's probably 5 times, not 5. The Mexican City population is just the city itself is 23 million people. So almost 3 times the size of New York City. Like, that's a money market for the NBA.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
No, I mean
it's
it makes a ton of sense to put a team in Mexico. Like that would be sick. You were able to make it work with Canada. You're going to be able to make it work with Mexico, but it's just poor timing. You know what I mean? Wait a couple years from now, see where shit is. But no, I don't think Mexico City right now is the team that I think Seattle and Vegas are the two definites. I do think that Canada will get a secondary NBA team as well. Um, and then I think that St. Louis could be on the table as well.
St. Louis. There are certain cities that should have a basketball team. St. Louis should definitely have one. Um, I haven't heard about St. Louis, but they should have a basketball team. I definitely think Vegas and Seattle are the next two. Floyd Mayweather kind of out of that too, because Floyd Mayweather is involved in the team that's in the ownership that's trying to bring the team to Vegas.
Yeah.
And he was saying he's definitely getting an NBA team. His preference is Vegas, but if it's Seattle, it's Seattle. Like that. Okay. Like I think he just,
Just outed himself.
Yeah. But
I mean, I still feel like a Pittsburgh team would be sick. You've got Philly, but
what is your
Pittsburgh's got the.
connection to Pittsburgh? Like you're a Steelers fan too.
Well, I'm a
What is your
Steelers
connection?
fan. Yeah, I mean, I
Yeah.
still think though that you've got good colleges over there. You've got a good NFL team over there. You have a borderline MLB team over there. You know, like they've got a good city over there. I think Pittsburgh is a nice little spot for some NBA basketball.
Yeah, there are a lot of cities in the NBA that could use a team. And
100%.
St. Louis, Pittsburgh.
I mean, I also think that with the new expansion, there's already talks about the Pelicans and Grizzlies being relocated. So you could be looking at 2 new teams plus 2 teams relocating.
the Pelicans are that bad again, like as far as attendance.
Oh,
and
yeah,
stuff?
the Pelicans are fucking horrible.
New
Horrible.
Orleans is such a cool city too. It's a shame that they won't have they only have one team. Like it's a cool city. Like
Well,
they should
I
have
would
more
say they have a
teams.
half a team because the Saints
The
suck
Aints
too.
not very good
Yeah,
right now.
they're the Aints right now.
Yeah. But imagine that like it's Utah. Your only team is the Jazz. Or
Yeah.
at least if you're the Spurs, your only team is the Spurs. Right. Okay, cool. They got 5 championships. They got Wemby. They got the best team that side of Oklahoma City. If your only team, this big city, and your only team is the Jazz, or your only team is the Aints, sucks. Sucks.
I mean, I may be a little biased here because I'm living here currently, but I do think that it would be very cool to see a South Carolina NBA team. And the only reason I say that is because there are so many players, Nick Claxton, John Morant, Zion, who are from South Carolina, and I feel like it is a very big basketball state. It just doesn't get recognition because there's no pro teams here.
It got Charlotte.
But that's what I'm saying. That's not South Carolina. Like that's
it's not. But yeah, how far is that from?
Hour and 45 from where I'm at.
You're gonna build another team an hour and 45 minutes away from the Hornets. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you have the Brooklyn Nets 22 minutes away from the New York Knicks.
It's the biggest market in the world.
All right, my fault. You've got
City
the San Antonio Spurs like 2.5 hours away from the Dallas Mavericks.
The Spurs, it's 4 hours, but I hear what you
got 3 teams in one state. You got, you know what I mean?
It's a hell of a state too. It's a hell of a state.
It's a hell of a state.
You can get rid of Houston. Like, look, I love the entire Republic of Texas. I love the whole big thing. Houston is the armpit of Texas. It is. Houston sucks.
Interesting.
Houston sucks. It used to be the city, but that
I feel like it's crazy to say, but I feel like Iowa would even be a cool place for a basketball team. Just
Iowa
because
somewhere that could do. Yeah, you could.
Iowa, West Virginia. I feel like one of the Virginias need a team.
You could build a team. You could put a team in Iowa. It would sell. I mean,
100%.
It's hard.
I mean, Iowa University does numbers.
Yeah. The only thing is, how do you get there, right? Like, I've never been to Iowa City. I'd imagine that's where you'd put the team. How much public transportation is there? How many people live in that metropolitan area?
I mean, realistically, do people in Iowa use public transportation, or do they just ride on horseback? Like,
well, I was saying, like, if you go to a basketball game, I don't drink, right? So when I go to a basketball game, it's actually very cheap. Like, I don't drink. Like, when you don't drink, the games become so much cheaper. Like, I was looking at
if you really want to feel a buzz at a basketball game or any sporting event, go grab a 6-pack. It costs $10 to $12. Drink all 6 in your car. You go in there feeling great.
I don't drink, right? So if that's you, like spending $20 on a beer. What is a beer now? When we were at the Hornets game in Charlotte, I'm sure they're more.
They were
Brooklyn.
actually cheaper. They were like $10 to $12. They weren't
All right,
bad at
not
all.
bad. What are they
Yeah, I
at
mean
Brooklyn?
most
18,
most is going to
20?
be somewhere between like 14 to 18, somewhere in that range,
18.
sometimes
So
20.
let's say $18 a beer. You want to get a little buzz, you get 6 of them. Do the math on that. What is that? 18,
You're at
36,
36, 72,
72,
and then
$72. That was more than my ticket cost. When I went to the Nets game last year and I sat 10 rows up in the corner, that was less than the price of the ticket just to buy 4 beers. So
Yep.
like now I could just, if I wanted to spend $70 on the ticket and $70 on beer, now I'm just going to spend $140 on the ticket and sit in a much better seat. Not drinking at the game saves you a ton of money. It's the beer.
It
Going
is.
to
It
the
is. It's a
games
killer.
isn't that bad. It's the beer that you buy at the game that is draining your wallet.
It's everything that you buy at the game that's draining your wallet.
Yeah, but you don't eat junk food, right? So you don't really buy food at the game because it's.
Yeah. No, I try and eat before I go to something.
Yeah, I'm not eating like I eat very clean. I'm not eating like. Although the Barclays is better. Like they have some good food options.
But again, I'm not spending like $23 for a cheeseburger. Like,
yeah,
fuck you. I'm going to McDonald's and I'm getting a $5 meal. Like, what do you think this is?
I used to get free seats all the time at the Spectrum. It was a nice arena. I like the Spectrum Center.
It is.
It's
a clean area too. Charlotte is a beautiful city.
It is. It's a cool city. You know, it's not the biggest city, but it's clean and it's got a cool downtown area. Charlotte's a pretty cool city. Yeah. It reminds me a little bit of Indianapolis. Like it's a cool city.
I was gonna say it's cool at night too because all the buildings are lit up in like blue, purple, teal. Like they've got a nice little format of nightlife that they got going on around there.
No, I like the vibe in Charlotte for sure. All right, is there anything else? Or are we good to close out? And when do you want to come back? What's your schedule?
That's a great question. We'll have to figure that out. I know that I'm working this weekend, so.
All right. We'll figure it out. You working to close? So you work till like 9, 10 o'clock at night?
Yeah. Probably Monday the 17th. We'll circle back.
All right. Sounds good. Guys, can we talk about Trey getting dealt? All right, we can talk about that.
It's not going to happen this year.
How the injury? How serious is it? How long is he out?
I don't know. It's a sprained MCL, I think, right? He'll probably be out for 6 weeks.
Is that what it is?
I think so. He'll be out for like 6 to 8 weeks. It's already been 2, so he'll be back before the deadline. But even then, it's just going to depend on where they are.
December, which is only like 3 weeks away. Yeah. So, okay, that's not too bad. I mean, it's not like that's going to stop someone from trading from at the deadline.
That's what I'm saying, though. It's all going to come down to what their record's looking like by that time. Like, if they're not looking like a playoff team and a borderline play-in team, then sure, maybe there's a way that he gets dealt. But again, I'm not trading for him. I don't need a point guard.
I'm not trading for him. I don't want
I would trade for Trae Young before I trade for Ja Morant.
Stop it.
Yes.
Stop.
100%.
Stop.
100%. Give me the guy that averages 24.
Meme. Stop. Get yourself help.
Give me the guy that puts up 24 plus and 10 plus assists per night and is relatively more healthy versus the guy that puts up 22 a night, 8 a night, and plays 35 games a year.
The injuries are a concern, obviously.
He misses 30 per year from injuries, but he also misses 20 to 25 per year because of stupidity. So I'm okay.
I
don't want Ja Morant.
I never believed the story that he beat up some 16-year-old playing pickup basketball. I never believed that story.
Do I think that he beat up a child? Probably not. Is he waving around guns, though, and acting like a fucking moron? Yes. I don't need that anymore. I already dealt with Kyrie. I'm all right.
The one incident in the strip club.
It was 2.
All right. The second one, he was putting his gun away in his car. How is that naughty?
It's not that it's wrong. It's just the fact that how are you going to get caught with a gun twice in public? Like, dude. Just figure it the fuck out.
Because he's from the South. I have guns all the time. It's not a thing to me. I have guns everywhere I go. Like, it's not a thing. He's from the South. It's gun culture. I have guns in my car. I have guns pretty much in every room in my house.
Everywhere.
Like, it's just that's the culture. And I know for people from up north, it's like weird or taboo. But down south, everyone has guns. You live in South
Carolina.
Listen,
I'm not against guns. Yeah, no, I'm not against guns. Like My family's got them too. But my thing is when you are a public figure and you just got suspended and caught for waving around a gun on Instagram Live, how are you going to get caught again with a
Okay,
weapon in your hand?
fair enough. I
Like,
get
just be
it.
smarter. He's not smart, and he's not meant for New York. He's not.
They would love him. His energy and his
Oh
style of
yeah, the
play, they would
people
love him.
would, but would he survive here? No.
He should move in with Michael Porter Jr. and the two of them
Oh
should
my
get
God, they're gonna
like a
have 7
nanny.
women
Have
pregnant with 5
have
different
a nat.
kids.
No, you get like a babysitter. You get a babysitter to make sure they don't act up, right? Like
They may try and impregnate the babysitter. Like, that's the level of stupidity that both of them are on. You can't put those two in the same room.
No, and it can't be some hot 22-year-old Dominican chick or Filipina chick. It's got to be like some 65-year-old Jamaican lady that weighs 400 pounds, right? Who cooks for you. Like, that's what it has to be. You can't you can't have like some hot 22-year-old Asian with pointy tits or some Latina with a big ass. It can't be that. No. It has to be some 65-year-old Jamaican lady who acts like a secondary mom to him and cooks.
I was gonna say, I think
That's-
Ja's heading to Sacramento. In all honesty, I think Ja's heading to Sacramento potentially, or Miami.
Why would Sacramento do like? I feel like that's the same thing as the Nets do.
Because I also think that they're gonna get Jonathan Kuminga, and if you have a young core of Ja and Kuminga with Keegan Murray, then that makes sense. That's a decent start to your rebuild. I don't know. I think they're getting one of the two though. But what's it called? I think that Kyrie heads to Houston. I think Anthony Davis heads to Chicago. If Trae Young was to get traded, which I doubt he is this year, I would think, honestly, Miami is probably the best fit there.
Is this real? I've never heard this. MPJ
Oh, no,
and
supposedly they
Sophie
have a
Cunningham?
picture together.
That doesn't mean a whole. That was like the picture of Bronny and Kobe's daughter. Like that doesn't. I've taken pictures with.
That doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah,
I mean, realistically, if Trae Young was to go anywhere, they would have to find a way to make it work. But Milwaukee makes the most sense.
Keep reading. Trade in Minnesota. What would that package look like? They'd have to send back.
They'd have to give up Jaden Daniels and Naz Reid. They're not going to do that.
I wouldn't do that. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they would do it or not. But they've done some things that were unexpected, like trading 15 first-round picks for Rudy Gobert. Then they made the cat trade seemingly out of nowhere. Like they've done something. They're not gun shy. I'll say. I don't know if they would do this or not. I'm just saying Minnesota's done some things.
Oh yeah, I think Sabonis is heading to Golden State.
I'm watching Golden State. Who was I watching them? This San Antonio, and then who they play? Oh, OKC. And they look like such trash against OKC. And then like you watch them again the next night, and they look. I don't know what to make of Golden State. Like, do you think they're a legitimate contender?
No, I haven't thought they were a genuine contender in over 6 years, and they only proved me wrong once when they won a couple of years back. Like, they're too old. They don't have a roster.
They're so old.
When you've got Kevon Looney playing starting center for you for 4 straight years, and when you have a guy named Quentin Post playing in your starting roster, like, no, they're not a real contender. They are a first-round exit, if not play-in exit, every year.
Potentially.
Draymond Green sucks. Klay Thompson was washed.
Oh, he's washed. He's the worst player in basketball right now. Shout out to
Steph Curry can't do what he did in 2019. He had his miracle run, but outside of that, he's never been able to lead a team on his own. Like, there's really he hasn't.
He's done it twice.
Okay, all right. We're really gonna break this one down. Andre Iguodala winning Finals MVP over him. We're gonna say that Steph was the one that carried them to that victory.
Yes. He was MVP of the league. He was the best player in basketball.
Steph Curry historically in the finals has sucked if you look up his stats. Outside of 2019, he has sucked in the finals.
Well, the year that
he's actually historically one of the worst finals players in NBA history. Here, I'll pull up his stats right now.
2022 was the year that they won. They beat Boston.
2022, yes.
Yeah. He was good. So 2019, 2022. Yeah, I get the two series the one they won against Cleveland, and then the next year when they lost to Cleveland, he was not great. That's for sure.
Here's his final stats. As a whole, they look solid, but when you look at his here, I'll pull up. Let's see.
Yeah, he's got some bad series for sure, but so does Kobe. So does Bron. Like, When you play in the
Well,
finals
Braun
a
has
lot,
like one bad series in the finals, but I mean, I'm looking at the stretch right now. Like the 2015-2016 finals, he put up 11, 18, 19, 38, 25. Or no, I'm sorry, that was minutes. Hold on. He put up 11, 18, 19, 38, yeah, 25 and 30 in that series. He was shooting below 50% in every game outside of one. His percentages sure as shit haven't been that great in his finals appearances. Yeah, in his career in the finals, he shoots 43% from the field, 39% from three. So the three is good.
it's a drop off. Yeah, it's a considerable drop off.
Yeah, I mean, overall in his finals career, he's 27, 6, and 6, which is good on paper. But when you look in depth on some of those games, he was the reason why series were closer than they should have been. Like without KD, he doesn't have more than 2 rings. He has the first ring, and then he has the last ring. But the
Okay,
ones in
maybe, but
between,
like, how
LeBron
many
and them
people in the
would have beaten
history
him.
of the NBA have more than 3 rings, especially when they're the ones carrying the team full stock? Not many. That's the
Point being though is my point. My
point.
point with Steph though is I respect Steph. I do like him. I do think he's the greatest point guard of all time now. But without KD, he is a 2 championship player at best.
And that's not bad saying he's the greatest point guard
No,
of
it's
all
not
time
bad
because
at all.
he's a
By all
shooting
means,
guard. Yeah.
by all means, it's not bad. But he would have 2. He would not be where he is today without KD.
So you're
and
acknowledging that Steph Curry is greater than LeBron. I would agree with you, but you just
no,
said
not
that
one bit. It's not even
you
close.
just said Steph is the greatest point guard of all time, which means LeBron is no more than 2.
No, because LeBron's the greatest small forward of all time. He's also the
And that's
greatest
not
player of
bad
all
for a
time.
point guard. Yeah. So Steph is the greatest point guard of all time, even though he's a shooting guard.
See, the thing is, though, is when you're looking at it. Well, yeah, but realistically, though, when you're looking at that list, right? To me, Shaq is the greatest center of all time. People will say Hakeem. That's fine. I don't care. People will say Kareem. That's fine. I don't care. But when you're looking at that all-time list, whether you have him at 1 or 3, you have LeBron, MJ, and usually Kobe in your top 3, right?
So it's tough, right? Because to me, if you said to me, Gary, you can have Steph or you can have Bron. My question is to you, in what era? If we're talking about this era, I'm taking Steph. If we're talking about any other era, I'm obviously taking Bron. Like,
Chad, help me here.
I think Steph in the 90s.
If you gave Steph,
which is a good player, but it's not
if
like,
you gave Steph LeBron's career from 2015 until today, Steph doesn't have 1 ring. LeBron has 2.
Wait, make that argument.
If you gave Steph Curry LeBron's career starting in 2015 when he went back to Cleveland, and you gave LeBron Steph's career in 2015 when they made their first finals,
why wouldn't Steph have any finals? Why? I don't agree.
Why wouldn't he?
Yeah,
because he'd be playing with Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love, both of which were injured in 2 different of those 3 finals. He doesn't come back down 3-1 against LeBron, KD, Klay Thompson.
We know that Steph can carry all the workload by himself and win a championship. He's done it twice.
No, he's done it
once.
Twice. He's done it once. He had Iggy. He had prime All-Star Klay. He had Defensive Player of the Year caliber.
Iggy was a guy that was coming off the bench, bro.
I like he won Finals MVP.
Yeah, but that's like saying Larry Bird can't win a Finals because Cedric Maxwell won MVP one year. It's like, come on, bro. Like, who's the best player on the team? Who's the engine that makes that train go? It's Steph.
It was KD.
Well, yeah, okay.
Before KD, yes, it was Steph. But
yeah, that's
during the main years of which they were winning, it was KD.
I'm talking about I'm talking about the 2 years, 2015 and 2022, the 2 bookend years. Steph carried that team full stock. For
the first year, yes. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The last year in 2022, yes. He carried that team 100% on his back.
In 2015, the second best player was a 3-and-D role player. Yes, he's the best 3-and-D role player to ever live, but granted.
What year was that, 2015?
2015. His second best player is a 3-and-D role player.
2015 stats. Let's see.
He's MVP of the league.
Klay Thompson in 2015 was averaging 22 points a game. He played 77 games.
Great player. 3-and-D wing player.
He shot 44% from 3.
Great player. 3-and-D wing player.
So you can't say that. No, that's not 3-and-D. When you're putting up 22,
what does he do other than 3 and and I'm not dumping on Klay Thompson. He's the best 3-and-D wing player of all time. He's a 3-and-D wing player. That's what else does he do? He's just very, very good at it. The best.
I would say a 3-and-D role player is somebody who gives you 5 to 15 points a night, not a guy that gives you 22. Like Dorian Finney-Smith is a 3-and-D role player. Cam Johnson is a
The
3 and
role's
D
not
role
that.
player.
Yes, I agree. Their
Klay Thompson
role
was a
is
star. He was a secondary star, putting up
but
22 a game.
because he was much better at it. But it's the same role. Like
No,
he
that's
didn't
not
do
how
that.
that works. When
That
you're
is
putting up
how that
22 a game, you're a
was. He
star.
create okay? Was Klay Thompson creating his own shot off the dribble?
I mean, if you're considerably counting a pump fake and one step to the right or left, then yes. But
Was he ever doing 2 dribbles, 3 dribbles?
2 or 3
I'm
dribbles, maybe not. But point being is
he was never doing 2
he was still
dribbles.
hitting that. Like
He
that
was, but I'm
22
not
is a
dumping
star.
on Klay. I'm just being real about what he is. And
My point
he's a
is
3 and
with
D
the
wing
LeBron and
player. Like, that's
my
all he
point with
is.
the LeBron and Steph flipping of careers, Steph doesn't get a ring between 2015 and 2024 if he has LeBron's career. He doesn't.
I disagree. I 100% disagree.
You think that the team of Kyrie Irving, Steph Curry, and Kevin Love is beating LeBron James, Klay Thompson, Andre Iguodala in the first two?
Well, we know
with
that we
also
know.
also factor in the injuries that Kyrie and Kevin Love both dealt with in those first two finals. Or I'm sorry, the first finals and the third one.
We already know that Steph beats Bron in the finals, right? Like the same argument that
Steph
people
doesn't beat Bron. Steph's teams beat Bron. There's
they
a big
always
difference.
make the argument that Russell is better than Wilt, and what's the reason that they cite? Russell beat him all the time in the finals.
Because there's no footage of either of them because they played in the
fucking
fucking
Russell
Stone
beat
Ages.
him all the time. Russell's better because he beat him all the time. If that's your logic, then Steph's better than Bron.
I don't agree because I think that if you're looking at the team's constructions and the injuries that came along in each of those series, LeBron has always had the harder series matchup when it comes to playing that team versus Steph playing that team.
But like outside of that, right? Like
that's like comparing the Nets versus the Lakers finals in the early 2000s. The Cavs were the Nets. The Lakers were the Warriors. Do you think that was a fair matchup? Do you think the Nets ever had a chance of beating the Lakers?
No, they didn't have because they didn't have a big. They had
that's
6'8" Aaron Williams and Kenyon Martin trying to guard
But that's the
Shaq.
same thing, though, right? Is they didn't have the firepower, correct? The Nets didn't have the firepower because they only had Kidd, really.
If the NBA officiated the Western Conference Finals fairly and the Kings beat them, which they deserve to do, the Nets may have a ring. The Nets could have beat Sacramento. Sacramento didn't D like that.
But point being is the matchups with one another, right? They played the Spurs, they played the Lakers. Both of those teams are dynasties, correct? The Warriors are a dynasty.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you have dynasty versus I'm just happy to be here, how do you compare those two and say that one player is beating another player because of that?
Typically, the dynasty is going to steamroll you. Typically.
Exactly.
Right.
So point being is Steph has never beat LeBron. Or Steph's teams have beaten LeBron. Steph Curry individually, when Klay Thompson was hurt and when Draymond got hurt, Steph did nothing. They were a lottery team. That's how they got what's his name? Kuminga.
And what's the
James
name?
Wiseman.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Like sorry, but no, Steph is a great player. But without the supporting cast
before
the
Lakers got AD, the Lakers were a lottery team. They missed the playoffs.
Yes, LeBron was hurt that year. That was the first year in his career that he actually dealt with injuries. Yeah.
So
36 years old, by the way.
I'm not dumping on the guy. I'm not dumping on LeBron.
No, I know that. I'm just saying though, it's crazy to make these comparisons when you've got LeBron who played with fucking. Do you remember the image of that finals the year that Kyrie left Cleveland? You had J.R. Smith and Tristan Thompson on the billboard next to Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, and Klay Thompson.
Understood.
You know what I mean?
I got you.
Like
I got you.
You flip those careers, Steph maybe maybe gets
played
one
with
ring.
Kyrie, right? Kyrie
was hurt that entire
second
first
best
finals.
player. Yeah, Steph's second best player that year.
Klay Thompson.
Was Klay Thompson. Who would you rather have, Kyrie or Klay Thompson?
Well, Kyrie at the age of 22 versus Klay Thompson at the age of 25 or 26.
Any
Klay
version
was the better
of Kyrie,
fit.
I'm taking over any version of Klay Thompson. I'm not dumping on Klay Thompson.
I think Klay Thompson would have been a better fit with Steph over Kyrie if he
Who
played
would
on the
you
Warriors,
rather?
and I think he would have been a better fit with LeBron if he was on the Cavs over Kyrie.
We're playing pickup ball. You have two matchups. You can guard Kyrie or you can guard Klay Thompson. Who would you rather guard?
Of course you're guarding Klay because he's not dribbling the ball out of his mind to get past you. But the point is when you're talking about fits of player, Klay Thompson fits better with LeBron on that Cavs team than Kyrie does. because LeBron acts
Maybe.
as a point guard, right?
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Klay Thompson
Yeah.
fits
Okay.
better with Steph Curry than Kyrie would with Steph Curry, correct?
I don't know, man. I look.
What? Oh my God.
Look, how are you guarding that team? If you got Kyrie and Klay, so Kyrie's going to be your de facto point guard. He's handling the ball, and then you got Steph Curry running all over the court. How do you scheme this? Like, this is a nightmare. Like, I get what you're saying, but Kyrie, this is where something you're going to have a smart coach that can make this work. Kyrie and Steph Curry are two of the most unguardable players to ever play basketball. Now you put them together.
I don't think that works.
It might not.
I don't think
but
it works.
could. It could be the most awesome thing you'd ever seen. It might be. It might not work. You might be right. But this is why, like, you're going to need a coach.
In terms of fit, I think Klay Thompson fits better with both Steph and LeBron than Kyrie does with both of them.
Klay is the ultimate role player, but that's what he is. He's a role player.
No, he's the ultimate second option, right? You don't call Scottie Pippen a role player, do you?
I call him a scrub. I don't like
Jesus
Pippen.
Christ.
I don't like if you said to me Ron Artest or Scottie Pippen, I'd probably take Artest.
Oh my God! All right, we gotta wrap this up.
I don't understand the Scottie
Holy
Pippen.
shit!
Scottie Pippen's clanking bricks and turning the ball over.
Oh my God, that's great.
Startling rates.
No, listen, I don't think Scottie Pippen is anything crazy, but at his time, he was the best second option of all time. Without Pippen, MJ doesn't win. That is a fact.
Go watch the Utah series. That game 6 where he pushes off Russell, he's got 45.
Scottie Pippen was in the game, 6. Right? Okay, point being is Scottie Pippen is still there. Without Scottie Pippen physically on the Chicago Bulls, he never got out of the first round.
Yes, you need 4 other people on the court with you. I agree. You need 4. He's one of those.
So Scottie Pippen is the ultimate second option because when he got there, they began to win.
Look, I think Jordan is greater than Bron, but who's a better basketball player? Bron's better. Bron's better.
Yeah, who's more influential? Okay, Jordan. Who's the better basketball player? LeBron.
LeBron
Not
James.
even close.
Okay, I grant you that. That be in their era, Jordan was more dominant in his era. Now his era wasn't as good.
I disagree. 10 straight finals appearances.
Jordan played an era where they scored.
Jordan needed to take 2 years off to go rest because of gambling issues, and then came back to the same team that was already sitting there waiting for him. I don't want to. The best player of Kareem's era was Kareem. The best player of Jordan's era was Jordan. The best player of LeBron's era was Kobe. Nope. LeBron is better statistically than Kobe in every category outside of points per game in his career, I'm pretty sure, actually. And he actually may beat him in that. Let me check.
Yeah, but I don't really care about, like, the stats are one thing. Kobe Bryant could carry teams to the finish line all by himself. He did it over and over and over again. If we're picking sides and every player who's ever played basketball is lined up against the gate.
Yeah, LeBron's stats are better than Kobe's career stats and everything.
Bryant, 100%. 100%. And
also, LeBron also outdueled Kobe in pretty much every match they've ever had.
Alex Rodriguez's numbers are better than Ken Griffey Jr.'s. Who are we picking? Who's better at baseball?
Who's better at baseball? Give me steroid A-Rod any day of the week.
Are you old steroid? Yeah, yo, Griffey is the best baseball player to ever live. Like, you can't be better at baseball than he was. Like, he was
better than Barry Bonds.
Well, he was better. Bonds was more dominant because you couldn't pitch to him. But like,
Bonds was LeBron.
Griffey was better at everything else.
Griffey was MJ. Right? Griffey was more influential because you didn't have to shoot TRT or Tren into your thigh every day to do what Barry Bonds was doing, right? But you could maybe be quick. You can maybe be a good base runner. You can maybe be a good hitter. Of course, Ken Griffey's more influential.
There's 2 versions of Bonds. There's the pre-steroid Bonds, so from like 89 to 96, who was the best player in the National League, right? Mm-hmm. And 4 MVPs, whatever the hell he was, before he ever took steroids. And then there's the post-steroid Bonds, which is what you saw, which was like a immovable force.
Which was an MLB The Show video game.
But that guy couldn't play the outfield anymore. He couldn't run the bases. Like, he could just hit, right? Like, Griffey could do everything. Like, Griffey had the best arm in baseball. He had the most range in center field. He could hit 300. He could hit 55 homers. Griffey was like, if you made a baseball player on a video game and you gave him the best attributes and everything, you would just have Ken Griffey Jr. Bonds was just this, like, he's the best hitter of the baseball I'd ever seen. It was ridiculous.
I think people forget how good Seattle Mariners and Texas Rangers A-Rod was.
He was great. He wasn't better than Griffey. He was phenomenal. Like, I've always said this. If I'm making just of the players I'm old enough to see, if I were to make a starting lineup of every player I've seen, the starting shortstop and the starting third baseman would both be A-Rod.
Yeah.
He was the best shortstop of my lifetime, and he's the best third baseman of my lifetime. So,
Yep.
like, I'm not.
Yeah, like I have
A-Rod
a friend of mine who's a diehard
not better than
Boston
Griffey.
fan for everything. He thinks that A-Rod's the greatest baseball player of all time.
He's not the greatest baseball player of all time. He's great. He's on a very short list. He's not better
See,
at.
I'm not biased.
than
I think
Griffey.
he's a top 10 baseball player of all
For
time
sure.
in terms of,
By
in terms of
any standard, for
positional
sure,
baseball.
top
Yes,
10,
but
100%.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think A-Rod was a great player. So was
To me, the
there's
list
that's
of
a
best
tougher one.
baseball players I ever saw, Griffey is one, and then we can have a conversation for 2, 3, 4, and 5. But Griffey is the standard bearer. Griffey was amazing. I've never seen someone who was the best at everything like Griffey was. All right, but I got to wrap. I got to go.
Yes, sir.
Go. All right, back Monday most likely.
Yeah.
All right, appreciate it. Good show, Dylan. Appreciate you.
Of course, man.
All right, it's November 13th, 2025, from Texas to the world. Thank y'all, and God bless.
Later.